The following program is brought to you in part by McLarty Daniel, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, Arvest Bank, Pam Transport, Sam's Furniture, the Walton Arts Center, and Explore Springdale.
Is still walking in.
Okay, I'll wait just a second.
The following program is brought to you in part by McFlarty Daniel, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, Our Best Bank, Ham Transport, Sam's Furniture, the Walton Arts Center,
I'd like to welcome everyone.
and Explore Springdale.
Students, we could have your attention.
The following program is brought to you in part
So we'd like to welcome everyone to the 25th Veterans Assembly here at Central Junior High. Parents, faculty, staff, students, this moment is a really important day where we recognize and honor our veterans. We have 3 goals today that I want you to be thoughtful about. First, and most important, veterans, we want you to know how much we appreciate you. We want to show you, our nation, our state, our community, our sincere appreciation for your service to our country. Secondly, parents, veterans, and our community, we hope that you leave with a confidence and a belief in our future because of our amazing student body at Central Junior High. And lastly, students, we seek to instill a lasting and deep appreciation and respect for all those who serve the United States of America, our veterans. With that said, I would like to introduce our student speakers, Aaron Osterly, Reese Onspa, Adriana Perez, and Victoria Rojas. Please welcome them to the stage.
Veterans Day recognizes the important contributions of millions of citizens whose military service had a profound effect on history. There are nearly 18 million U.S. veterans living among us in every state, territory, and from every walk of life. You may be a son, daughter, cousin, or relative of a veteran or current service member. We at Central Junior High School wish to honor veterans of all wars and peacetime. In 1921, an American soldier, his name, known but unto God, was buried in Arlington's National Cemetery. This unknown World War I soldier became the personification of dignity and reverence for the American veterans. This memorial took place on November 11th, giving universal recognition to the celebrated ending of World War I, when, in 1918, hostilities ended at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. In 1954, President Eisenhower signed a bill proclaiming November 11th as Veterans Day.
Our flag is the symbol of our national unity. The flag tells of the struggle for independence, of the union preserved, of liberty in one country, inseparable, and of the sacrifices of brave men and women. It speaks of equal rights for all. It means an America that is united, strong, and equipped for its task. Please stand for the posting of our national and state flags by members of Boy Scout Troop 777. Please remain standing as the Warriors Sing Club sings the national anthem under the direction of Miss Watt, signed by Central student Miji Limkade. Please remain standing as the Central Band performs the Armed Forces Salute and as the flag team posts the colors of the United States service branches. We invite you to stand as the flag of your branch of the military is presented.
Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance as Reeves Onspaw leads the pledge and the Warriors in Action students display the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to introduce our guest speaker today. He served in the Marine Corps for 30 years, serving in places like California, North Carolina, Japan, Iraq, and Afghanistan. He was in the infantry, served as a combat engineer, a recruiter, and retired as the senior advisor to the commanding officer of the 23rd Marine Regiment. He is the founder and now CEO of Sheepdog Impact Assistance, a national nonprofit organization that assists veterans and first responders with overcoming their service-related trauma. He is the father of 3 beautiful children, Katie, Connor, and McKenna. He's also a proud Arkansan and a die-hard Razorback fan. Please help me welcome Sergeant Major Lance Nutt to Central.
Thank you. Please be seated. Well, I need to start by saying how impressed I am. It is rare that I attend events that are so well organized and the professionalism that began from the time I got out of my vehicle and walked up to the school and how I was greeted by students out front and throughout my time that I've been here so far this morning. Also, as a Marine Corps Sergeant Major, it's part of my responsibility in Corps to ensure that customs, courtesies, and traditions are followed properly. That proper etiquette when it comes to managing our nation's flag, service flags, etc. And one of the things as a Sergeant Major, usually we get irritated about a lot of little things, right? It's part of the role and the job sometimes in critiquing Marines to make sure they do things the way they're supposed to. And I always attend events that have our nation's service flags. The Army, the Marine Corps, the Navy, the Air Force, Coast Guard, National Guard. And one of the things that always irritates me is that those flags are never in the appropriate order. Too often, based on songs and sayings, it's the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, and the Coast Guard. And so how impressed am I when I come to a middle school and I can proudly look up on the bulkhead and see that you did it right. So thank you very much for setting the tone. Now today is very special to me for many reasons. One, because I have an opportunity to be here with you today, share a little bit of my story. But also today is the Marine Corps birthday. So for Marines, we are a little cultish about our birthday. We enjoy celebrating this day very much. We are proud of the founding of our Corps and our ability to serve our nation. And as a Marine, who is also the son of a Marine, how proud can you imagine it is to acknowledge the fact that my son, Connor, was also born today. And he attends a rival school of yours, Elmwood in Rogers. So I teased him a little bit today to say that I would be celebrating his birthday with one of his rivals. So again, thank you for the opportunity to be here. Now, my connection with Springdale is an important one to me because in 1995, the Marine Corps assigned me to recruiting duty. And now I was born in southeast Arkansas, a little town called Crossing. But my father joined the Marine Corps about a year after I was born. And I spent the rest of my life traveling the globe as my father was assigned to different duty stations all around the world. I was able to come home to Arkansas sometimes once a year to see grandparents, but the vast majority of my time was spent I moved every year of my life to a different school and a different location until I was 13, and then I moved to Japan. I spent another 3 years overseas before I again was able to come home and visit family. Even though I never lived in the state, I bragged about being an Arkansan. I bragged about being a Razorback fan. My father will tell you that my first words were "Go Hogs." But it wasn't until 1995, I enlisted in the Marine Corps, North Carolina in 1988, deployed to the Gulf during Desert Shield and Desert Storm, came back, finished up a Marine Corps career, started college, finished college, went back to the Marine Corps. I'd been back just a few months when a call from a senior Marine said, "We're sending you on recruiting duty." And I have no idea where this place is, but you're going to Springdale, Arkansas. And you're going to manage Springdale High School and a lot of other little high schools throughout Northwest Arkansas. And the first thing for me was an excitement in knowing that for the first time in my life, I was going to get to see the Hogs play. That I would be right next door to the University of Arkansas, and I would have an opportunity to call the Hogs. Now, the unfortunate side is that I did not appreciate truly the greatness that was Northwest Arkansas until I came up here on recruiting. And in Springdale, through Springdale High School, I enlisted more than 60 young men and women over my 3-year tour. And this community set me up to be recognized as the Recruiter of the Year in both 1996 and 1997. Because what I quickly realized was how patriotic this community was. How proud the men and women and the families of Springdale and by extension Northwest Arkansas was when it came to appreciating the service and sacrifice of their men and women in uniform. And still to this day, I brag about this community and about the men and women who have stood up and said, "I'm willing. I'm willing to serve, I'm willing to sacrifice, and if need be, fight and possibly die." And that's a very strong statement. When someone says, "I am willing to serve, sacrifice, fight, and if need be, die for you and your freedoms," that's a powerful statement. So, thank you, Springdale and Northwest Arkansas, for reminding me, Central, for reminding me just how truly amazing this community is. This is probably the 10th plus middle school I've spoken at, and it's never been done this way. And that's a testament to you as students, and your staff, teachers, and families that have made sure that you do not forget the importance of Veterans Day and the men and women who have served, are serving, and will serve. And in closing, I'd like to service, sacrifice, and a willingness to fight. You as students, and I'm speaking to you students, you have an opportunity, and I challenge you to serve your community and your country by doing the best that you can with the life that you've been given. A life that has been made possible by the men and women who have died for you. Those veterans that have paid the ultimate price so that you have the opportunity to serve. And I'm not asking all of you to join the military, or be a policeman or woman, firefighter. I'm asking you to consider what it is that you can do to make your school better, your community better, and your family strong. That's where true service begins, by you doing your best. And in doing that, yes, you may have to sacrifice. Sacrifice time, maybe a little money, and not working your job one day, and instead taking time to give back to your community, right? To volunteer, to help others, based on the blessings that you have in being in the greatest nation on this earth. So please do your best to consider how you can serve, and in doing so, sacrifice. And third, I will challenge you to fight. Fight in a way that makes yourself and others proud. Meaning, fight for what's right. Fight for each other. Fight to ensure that others benefit from the service and sacrifice made by so many. Fight to ensure that you continue to have the opportunity to live free, to live in a community that recognizes the best of what it is that we've all been given. Thank you so very much for today. Thank you for the opportunity to share a little bit of my story and what it is that I think makes America so great. And though this is not Memorial Day, Memorial Day is about remembering the men and women who have died for us. Veterans Day is about the men and women who are willing to die for you. And the best way to always honor that willingness to serve and sacrifice is to live your best life, to do your very best, and when need be, fight for what's right. Thank you very much.
We are privileged to have veterans on our staff. We would like to take the time to recognize the members of our staff who have served in the military. Mr. Jesse McKinley served in the U.S. Marines for 3 years. Mr. Philip Rome served in the U.S. Marines for 4 years. And Miss Jennifer Smith served in the U.S. Navy and Army for 12 years. Teachers, would you please stand as we honor your service today? Would you please now give your attention to the East Stands as the Central Advanced Men Choir and Chante, under the direction of Miss Watt, sings My America.
There are 1.3 million Americans in active military service today. At Central, we have students and faculty members who have family members who are deployed or who are currently serving in the military. We would like to take the opportunity to recognize them today for the support they give our service members. If you are a Central student, faculty, or staff member who has a family member currently serving or is deployed, please stand so we can thank you for your service.
It's my privilege and honor to recognize those of you who are here this morning who have served in our armed forces. I was blessed in a family in which I was surrounded by many, from my dad to my uncles and to my cousins, who served in 3 of the branches that we have seen this morning. I'm waiting to see my nephew, Billy Davenport, who's coming back from the Marines here in just a few weeks. Let me say this. You are the tip of the sword. And we thank you for that. Sometimes that is taken for granted. But we appreciate your sacrifice. So at this time, we're going to, and I want you all to hold your applause until we've introduced each group. But this time, we're going to be asking those of you who have served, whether in wartime or in peacetime, and we're going to divide it up among groups. First group I want to recognize, do we have any World War II veterans here? I've been here for 33 years, and I want to say it was 4 years ago was the first time we did not have one. World War II veterans, and there's a few left, are known as the greatest generation. Let's just pause for a moment. If you served in the Korean conflict during the Cold War, please stand. Students, this was known as the Forgotten War. This was a time in which we were involved in a Cold War. But these men served valiantly. Let's pause just for them. If you served in the Vietnam War conflict, please stand. Stay standing for a moment. These guys didn't receive much of a welcome home when they came home. But we welcome you. Welcome home, and thank you for your service. If you were a part of Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm, please stand. Thank you for your service. If you served what is known as the War on Terror, Operation Enduring Freedom, Operation Iraqi Freedom in Afghanistan, please stand. We thank you. If you served our country during peacetime, please stand. Thank you for your service. If you are currently serving in our armed forces, please stand. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it? They're serving. They're somewhere right now, away from their family, protecting our freedoms. Young people, how do you think a veteran? Well, you've demonstrated it this morning. But what you can do to make it personal is simply shake their hand. Men and women that are veterans, and shake their hand and just simply say thank you for your service. We appreciate you. If you get an opportunity to do that today or this weekend, take advantage of that privilege. So, having said that, if you are a veteran and you've served in our armed forces, please stand so we can thank you again. Let's stand and let's thank their families. All right, let's be seated, please.
Please stand for the recessional of the flags by Boy Scout Troop 777 to Stars and Stripes Forever. We would like to ask that everyone please continue standing for a moment of silence and the playing of taps as we honor our veterans today. Taps was originally a call for lights out. Today on military bases, taps is still played to call for lights out. During the Civil War, the meaning of the song changed and began to be used at the funeral of fallen soldiers. A few of the words are, day is done, gone the sun, from the hills, from the lake, from the sky. All is well, safely rest. Ray Duran Torres and Aisha Cano of the Central Band will play taps to close out our assembly. Please be seated as Dr. Lofton concludes our program today.
So let me begin with just saying, students, as principal, and I can speak for our teachers, that I couldn't be more proud of the student body than I am today. You guys are such a great group of kids, and I'll read my remarks. I do want to say, as Coach Vaughn mentioned, my grandfather was a World War II veteran, and he gave up years of his life with his family to fight for this country, and I'm sure there's other people in this room that had that in their history, and I'm thankful for him. His name was Glenn Lofton. He was a medic in World War II. Got 3 uncles that served in Vietnam. I have a deep respect and appreciation for anyone who serves our country. I'm thankful for these veterans that are here today and for your service and sacrifice. Here's what I wrote. What a great assembly today. I do want to give a special thanks to Miss Ray. Where's Miss Ray? She likes to hide. Miss Ray, can you step out here? Okay, we'll get her in a minute. She likes to hide, but she's put a lot of time and effort into this. When she comes back, then we'll appreciate her. Here she comes. Miss Ray, can you step in here? She doesn't like the spotlight, but I'll tell you, she's an amazing lady, and this ceremony, what we do here is deep and important to her. Secondly, I'd like to thank all the teachers and for all of their efforts and things that maybe we don't even know that you've done to help make today successful. To you teachers, thank you so much for your time and all that you put into this. So let's give them a hand. I'm going to keep going down the list just a little bit, and if I forget somebody and you all know it, then tell me, because I never want to forget anyone. But parents that are here, and grandparents, and aunts and uncles, like I said, our kids are just amazing. I'm so thankful for the work that you've done in bringing them here and raising them. These are just a great group of young men and women. Band, I really like the ending with the drums. And you guys have put a lot of effort into preparing songs and playing. And what I believe is that you played with your heart in honor of these veterans here today. So thanks to the band. Let's give them a hand. And our choir, they sang their hearts out, did they not? It was so beautiful. Great to hear your voices and you guys singing. So let's give the choir a hand. Good job. So I missed the parents, the hand part. So let's clap for the parents because I missed that part. And I'll say our cheer and our dance, they've put a lot of things together, welcoming people into the building, as well as our student council and various students, National Junior Honor Society, Ms. Cameron, has been involved in helping to make sure that people are welcome here. So thank you all. Let's give them a hand. And then I think, unless somebody reminds me of someone, but our cameras and our live stream, got a couple of guys back there with the headsets on, and Miss Wright. So let's give them a hand because they've allowed it to go across the nation. Thank you all. Okay, so as hopefully a good teacher does, I'm gonna remind you of your goals. Veterans, number one, most important to all of us here. Hope that everyone that served our country feels the honor, the respect, the appreciation for the rest of the year, all the way up until we come back next year, that you know how much that we appreciate your service and your dedication to our country. So thank you for that. And let's remember, students, the best thing you can do is when you know someone served is go up and thank them, because the opportunities that you had are because of their service and their sacrifice. Secondly, parents and community members and anyone who's listening out there on the World Wide Web, believe in our youth. Believe in our kids, their future, because they are amazing, as you've seen today. And the last thing is, as students, treat your neighbor, treat your friends, treat everyone with kindness. Let us always deeply honor and respect our servicemen and women, all those who serve the United States of America. Okay, if I forgot you, then thank you too. Let's give whoever I forgot a hand. Yes, I did. I'm glad that he said that. I actually wrote it down, but that's the ADD in me. Marine Sergeant Major Lance Nutt, let's give him a hand too. Thank you so much. Okay, so with that said, what we're going to do is all of our veterans, and if you're related to a veteran and you want to join them, there's our PTO, thankful for them, has set up some coffee and donuts in the front. And so we're going to start with dismissing all our veterans and all of our guests. Students, you stay seated. If you would like to go to the front lobby and enjoy that, we would love to have you up there. Thank you so much for coming. Let's give them a big hand.